investment is not investment. Just me money or give me money in the name of investment. That later on I'll tell you that it's all gone. We're talking about networking. Networking. Business. I'm provoking you. I'm hitting the areas. Either you love this session or you leave this place, hate me with a passion. And if you do so, I'll be so happy. At least I got your attention. Thank you for your love. I made this point, and let me start saying this to you. There are about 586 million businesses in the world. Known businesses in the world. Not a single one African company is listed in the biggest companies of the world. Among the biggest companies of the world. 586 million entrepreneurs in the world. And by the way, SME, in other words, small and medium-sized businesses or enterprises, are the foundation of the world's economy. 90% of the business population is managed by SMEs. And 70% of the global employment and 55% of GDP is run by SME companies. Why is it that Africa is rich but cannot be wealthy? Why is it that we are rich and we seek after riches instead of seeking ways to create wealth for generations? When we talk about business, there are some few things I'd like to bring to your attention. And we talk about partnerships, and we talk about networking. Your business, if it's good in Ghana, should be able to have market in other places. Every business in a small place, small region, but eventually extend beyond that region to other places. Nobody creates business for one spot. In fact, when God was creating the gospel business, guess what? Jesus gathered disciples and he got them to wait for him in Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost because he wanted to brand his business around the world. Even God. If you are going into business, please, and your business is only to make money to pay bills, then you are in the wrong place. Quit. Quit. The mentality here is that we have this mentality that if anyone starts business, it means that they have money. So when we make first run, we always use what we've made profit to spend on ourselves, and we don't know how to reinvest. We even don't know how to find the right partners. People that we can literally partner for expansion or for growth. So we start businesses, and let me tell you, businesses go out quicker and faster than businesses being created. And one of the things that we all can tell, we can say, one of the things that we can all attest to is that the market today is tough and hard. Do you realize that some people make more money when the system is tough and hard? The best money to make is when everybody is complaining. We don't know how to create secondary products within our products. So we sell one product forever. If you have a restaurant and all you serve is garifoto, there will come a time that people will not eat garifoto because they've had enough of it. If you don't have other products connected to Garito, your restaurant will be opened and flies will visit it. Creating business, the question you have to ask yourself is, why am I going into business? What is the purpose of business? Why am I doing this business? What is that I want to achieve? And if I want partnership, what is the purpose of it? Partnership, whilst it's important, let me make this point. We all know the importance of successful partnerships. Many times we think of capital as money. So when somebody says, I want to partner with you, the first thing you want to ask is, how much money are you putting in? It is not the commitment and dedication. Because when you are doing business and you are able to win a person's trust, you've got everything a person has. It's not the money, because if your intention is the money, then your intention is not right. But if your intention is to get the person's commitment and loyalty, that means whatever skills, knowledge, and resource that a person has can be used or contributed for the partnership. So when you are making friends or you are building relationship in your little business or big business or mid-sized business, always look beyond how much are you putting in. Ask yourself, why do I need this person in my life? Why do I need this person in business life? And why should I partner with such a person? Am I partnering to get the best of the person or partnering to just to get the money out of the person? Because if you partner and all you go for is money, and the persons know that what you are looking for is money, and you try to take their money alone, they are going to mess you up. But when they know that there's a relationship established, then based on the relationship, whatever they give, they're giving it to support the relationship. So your partnership is not just money. It is ideas and heart, wills and trust. And that makes a better partnerships. How do you even find partners? And what are they to find? Because in business, I want to make another point. In business, always remember, it's not what you have or what you know. Because life is this way. You can't change it. Life is not about what you know. Life is about who you know and who knows you. Let me say it again. Life and business is not about what you have, and it's not about what you know. Life and business is about who you know and who knows you. If you know people, I mean, it's easy to say, hey, I know Constance. Knowing her, you know her from a distance, but you know her intimately, and happen to see her from time to time, you to the point. The question is this: how do you know her? How close do you know her? Oh, I know her. I know her as a woman of God. I know her as a very astute business leader, woman. I know. Does she know you? No, she doesn't know you. In part, you know. But who also knows you? And we have to find ways and means to connect, because I'll tell you one thing. Across Africa, as I go from nation to nation, and I'm engaged by the governments and leaders, most the countries don't know how to do business outside from government. And many times, every country, I would say, need special individuals who have relationship with the business world and who knows how to literally bring people together, ideas, and create kind of partnership, traction, and win-win situation. Because if you really, really, really want to expand your business, who would like to know your business and understand your business, exactly what you are trying to achieve. And if they understand you well, and they see not just opportunity for economic benefits, but also that your business can do good and transform lives. There are those in business, it's not money they're after. They want to make a difference. So if you can create a partnership with people who understand what you can achieve, and their ultimate goal by examining your business plan is that it is not what you can make, what you can and what you can get, but what you can do to make lives better, transform lives. When they see that your business is going to transform people, they will support it. Most businesses we do in Ghana, it's not about transforming lives. It's about lining pockets and looking rich. So people will come to you and say to you, you know what? I don't even think about Africa. Because at least Africa is too far. Most investors will say to you, Africa is too far. At least if we invest in Europe or close to where we are, we can track our investment. But Africa is too far. And the things they've heard about Africa is not all that encouraging, because there's so many 419s in the system. There are those who will literally destroy the confidence of those who genuinely want to help or partner. And one thing is, somebody will mess up opportunity for all, and they don't care. But nevertheless, there are other individuals, and there are certain relationships you learn to cultivate. You'll be able to do more than what you're doing, and it will actually help you to have an idea of using your business to transform life. Every business that you create or have has within it both social and corporate responsibility. It doesn't have to be a multi-million city. It can be a 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 company. If you have a company, always consider the community that you are operating from and where you are working from. If you do not show interest in the community, it will be difficult for your company to take off in that community. Be interested. Use your company to do other things. And if you do it, it will attract attention. There are many people who are trying to come to Ghana. In fact, first week of December, almost 200 people will be coming down here. I'm the chairman of an organization called African Diaspora Development Institute. I'm the chairman of it. We're coming to Ghana. Investors are coming here. We're building a city in Cape Coast. University in Cape Coast. And want to give money, seed money to women in Cape Coast to start with. Why not in my place? It has nothing to do with your place. Because if you are doing business and you want to have greater impact, take away your selfishness and your partnership will grow. My friend, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba will be here. Ambassador Ericana will be here. I'm the chairman of that organization. We bring investment to Ghana. Why Ghana? Because God has blessed this nation in spite of our shortcomings and has made us still the entry for economic prosperity in Africa. Businesses here, so that when investors are coming here, they'll be looking for you. And I want to help you to find the right partners, because I also want to introduce people here. Things to be done around here. I have brothers and sisters who are in business. But when you learn to take the element of selfishness out of it, and you look at proper networking, the point is you will do greater good and your work will advance. Jesus did not commit his ministry to his brothers and sisters, but he committed it to his disciples. That is why his ministry, that's why his business, that's why his enterprise is still flourishing. Some of the businesses that you have, the moment you put a family member in it, they will chop it and destroy it. Some family members are not supposed to be put in business. And the term they will use is this. That's what your family member will tell you. Family business here is not too great. Because when they see money coming in, they think the money belongs to you personally. They don't believe that the money belongs to the business and it's supposed to be reinvested. And the fact that your business did well the first year doesn't mean every profit goes to your mouth. You have to build partnerships, and people are looking for partnerships. Some are doing it not because they need the money, but because they also want to contribute to the betterment of society. Your business can still attract people outside. How to do it is the thing. How can I get the right people to take a look at my business? How can I have someone at least show interest in what I'm doing? Because if I can have someone to look at my business, I believe they'll be impressed by it, motivated by it, and they would like to partner with me. What kind of capital do you need? Besides seed money. Because capital is not only money. You have relational capital. As people who put money in your business, but you need them as mentors. When you come into mentor skills, and they will help you to advance and do great things that you didn't think you could do. I want to be. So I'm praying God send people to me. Even though it's good prayer, sometimes you have to find them than God bringing them to you. How do I find them? What kind of networks can I be part of to expose me to business relationships that will help me go forward? I whispered to Pastor, I lead a network in America. It's called Integrity Business Network. And among the network, we have few selected powerful business men and women. Observing the room, I said, it would be good for me to introduce this network here, bring these people down here, and have a session like this, and have a breakup, and let individuals meet with these people, showcase what they have, tell them the idea, be convincing of your product, tell them what you have, so that they can actually connect with you, and at least help you to move your business. Every business you have here can go abroad. Do you know how sad it is when we have shea butter and people come from the outside and hold the corporate in our villages and they are making billions of dollars, not millions, billions of dollars. The North is not poor. But people are turning their riches into wealth. So we are holding riches when others are wealthing of us. Every business can be popular abroad. Listen, you come abroad today, simple things like beads, waist beads that women wear, today is on the hardest markets around the world. Alatas, biggest thing. But the people who are doing it here are struggling and don't know how it goes out. People are coming behind and buying them or paying people peanuts, and they scraping and destroying your business. And yet we are here. We got to change that. And if you allow me, I'll help us to change that. Our music is being sampled abroad. Play for free. We're struggling. We need a partnership that is a win-win situation. You win, I win. It's not taking advantage of anyone. How do I find the right partners? I'm provoking you because I'll let you ask questions before I come to wealth creation. You need to network. It's important for your company or your business to survive. Can you look at your business and see beyond Ghana, beyond Accra? See your business as international business or global business. Can you see something like that? Can you envision yourself with timelines that, you know what? If I get this kind of talk, I'll set goals, structures, that within a few years, I'll at least attempt to take my business beyond the shores. When you learn to do things that I'm trying to provoke you to do, you will discover that you can do many things with less money. Now, people that work with money often don't use their own money. There's something we call OPM, other people's money. That's what rich people do. That's what successful people do. You don't use your money. They have line of credits, and yet they have nothing, no financial connection to the bank. When you are desperate for money and you go to the bank, they don't give you money. But when you don't need money, they'll be chasing you to give you money. That's the way the system works. How will the bank start chasing you when you don't have nothing? And they'll be coming to you because they believe that they need you, that you need them. I said last night that Christians are poor because they save. But those who are wealthy, they invest. And when you put your money in the bank for savings, we use it. And when you come to collect your money, you pay interest for taking your own money. And if you want loan, we tell you don't qualify. Because it's who we know that gets the money. That's the way the system works. You can't change it. It is official. It's a global phenomenon. How do I break through? Who are the people that I need to meet so I can transform my business life? Now, the first point I want to raise is if you are going to do business and you are going to attract partners, try to do this. Let me see if I can mention this point. First and foremost, if you want a business partner that is global, do this before they come around. First and foremost, define your purpose. Define your purpose. Define your purpose. That's number one. There are 4 points I want to raise. What do I mean when I say define your purpose? What I mean is ask yourself why your company exists. You have to define the purpose. And if you can do that, then identify your service is a great starting point. Number 2, to get a kind of global partners you're looking for, you have to be specific. Specific, very specific. Very specific. Don't use buzzwords or jargons, which are generally ineffective. Make sure that you have a business statement clear. Business statement clear. Business statement clear. Be very specific. Have a business statement so clear. Don't be changing it back and forth, here and there. Be clear. First, define the purpose. Second, be specific. When a mission is not clear, it's difficult for people to align their needs with your goals or your business. Because if your business cannot meet a need, there's no need to have a business. So choose words wisely. Choose the words that you use for your business wisely. And always use terms that are simple and easily understood. And that is relevant to your business. Always do that. That is relevant to your business. Let me throw something out here to help you. I mean, just know where I'm coming from. I have a little gift, and my gift is I am always thinking ahead. And my gift is I have discernment. I can tell what is going to be happening, trends. I can at least what is going to happen in society. I mean, you could call it prophetic Christian. But to the world, you call it prognosticator, or, somebody who sees into the future. I can tell that this is the trend. This is what is going to happen. So everything I do, I don't do for the present. I build for the future. Everything that I do. I want to make sure that the businesses and the things that I build can outlive me, because I am in legacy. In my life right now, what is important to me is legacy. What will be remembered by. And the secret is, I know that in Ghana, when people die, they'll come and cry and eat. And family members will ask how much money they make, and they share among themselves, and they're gone. That's what we do in Ghana. Very early in my life, I said, you know what? If I want to have the kind of global impact, then I should take my work and ministry and my businesses beyond my country. Because if I touch people in different countries, when I'm no longer, and my country forgets me, they will be mentioning me. Simple. That's what Jesus did. He knew that if the gospel was left in Jerusalem, in his absence, it would be dead. But he said, bring them from all the places, but start with Mary, Judea, and other places. But take the gospel to the world. He's not forgotten. Jesus is the finest model of business model that you can emulate. That's what he did. Don't hire people who are looking for jobs because they are just hired. Don't hire people because they are looking for jobs. Employ people. I'm in terms now. Don't hire people because they're looking for jobs. Employ people who are ready to be part of your vision. But if they are looking for a job, then you'll be paying their bills. But if they are part of your vision, then they'll be helping you to make money to help them to pay their bills. It's very important. You spread your works amongst. Because always remember, every business will go up and will come down. But not all businesses survive a downturn. Some businesses, when things change, it will be down because customers have moved on to other products. That is why you have to do more than just one thing. Because if you do one thing and it's no longer needed, you're out of business. What is your secondary product? So I realized as a pastor, I should do more than the church because that's what I've been trained to do. So I constantly remind my congregation, I'm not here to survive on your tithe and offerings. So I would speak truth to you. I won't lie to you, I won't disrespect you, and I won't use gimmicks to get you to follow me. My church, every year, July, August, we ask at least 500 people to leave and go find churches. People say, man, you crazy. I say, you don't know what I'm doing. I asked 500 people, you leave the church and go. I said, this is the time of the year when those of you who have to move on can move on. And we bless you as you go. Nobody will speak bad of you. So in my church, I tell them, you don't owe me anything. You come here and you leave when you have to go. You don't belong to me. You belong to God. Because the secret is, I watch over your soul. You watch over your body. And God watch over your spirit. So I don't owe you. The goal also is to remind the people that my ministry empower them, provoke them to know God, and also to grow individuals. So when I give people a chance to go, guess what? Those who are connected to the vision don't leave. It's hard for my people to leave. If you come to visit us, I've been pastoring them for 36 years. Our church has never split. Never. I can be gone for 10 years. I'll go back. The church is still the same. One thing done, God said to me, drop the word church of your building, of ministry. So we are Life International. There's no church to it. We drop it. I did this 10 years ago. People say, man, why do you do this? I said, you understand later on. Because I don't want to do what everybody's doing. Because if you do what everybody's doing or selling what everybody is selling, then your competition is greater. And your market profit margin is reduced. What do you sell? What is specific and unique? Why do you always be second and third? Why don't you become the first and let others copy you? So by the time they come, you are ahead of the game. I retired some of my pastors. I said, I'm going to teach you how to do business. Some of them today are making so much money than me. And they are happy I did. They said, because I don't want Christians to be seen as people who always use the pulpit to beg for money. But when you are successful, because I've helped you to become successful, you'll be happy when it's giving time. You'll be smiling. When people are broke and it's giving time, they pretend they don't hear you. Because the church has not trained us. That's why we need pastors like this who believe in the congregation and wants to see each one of them successful. That's what it's all about. I just told I'm going to bring Integrity Business Network to help you because you are doing an awesome job. And I believe in you. I respect her. I appreciate her. I believe in her. And I believe that the people who are connected to Grace Impact have to be impacted gracefully. Be specific. Be specific. Be specific. Be very specific. Number 3, Your business should inspire. Inspire. Your business should inspire. Inspire. I'll give you an example. And again, I'll use what I do in business. I have few interests in business. I ask myself, what do I use business for? I use business as a tool to get the message across. And let me tell you, when you are successful, people listen to you. But when you are broke, all they want you to do is become intercessor. Pray for them to advance in life. Have a good amen. Amen. Let's make it a church meeting for a minute. Can I have a good amen? Amen. Pastor started and said that I wish above all things that you should prosper and be in health. I'm so prosperous. How come that people who don't know God are more prosperous and believers who know God are broke? And when it's convention Easter time, we go and give them envelopes to put money for us. What's this all nonsense for? You ought to change. I saw this when I was growing up. My mother and father were in Christ Apostolic Church. And the pastor we had was so poor. He owned quite a few members' money. And every Monday he would come to us and my mother would take my little money of saving for myself for the pastor. And I promise that if I grow up and I become a man of God, I will never, never be poor and broke. When I finished school, college, my mother wanted me to be an engineer. I gave my mother my certificate. I said, this is what you want me to do. Take it. Now I'm going to do what God has called me to do. And I said, I promise you, Mom, I am going to be so successful that you'll be proud that you gave me to God. Before I turned 28, I made my first million. And I realized that, wow, if you can do it, you can lose it and make it again. And I realized, my God, this is so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. Why is it easy? Because of the point. Be purposeful. Be very clear. Inspire. If what you do is not of inspiration, and one thing that happens is when you have a clear vision, you attract your kind. People will come to you instead of you praying them out. They'll be coming to you. People approach you. People connect with you. And just little acts of kindness will provoke others to do beyond your expectation. Let me tell you, if you're in business, one thing you should realize is angels visit your company every day, and you may not even know. The way you treat people determines which angel will bring your goods. By entertaining strangers unaware, you are actually getting an investor. There are many people who may dress up funny and come to you to test you and see how you respond. You own a company. Instead of getting up early morning, do your devotion, and go to work early, you show up at 12 o'clock, and you leave at 2 o'clock. And you want the company to thrive, it will fail. If you start a company in Ghana, you have to pray who will manage it, because people will sink your company. Some people, out of despite, they will destroy your business. They will chop your money and literally run you out of business. I'm speaking from experience. I've had people do that to me. So you have to learn to discern and know who not to do business with. Not everybody that is a Christian is business worthy. Most Christians don't know how to do business anyway. I'm not speaking negative because I'm one. Most Christians don't know how to do business anyway. Instead of doing business, they would rather be praying for the business life without in the business. There are some believers, when you hire them, they'll destroy your business. When you come to them, instead of working in their Bible and speaking in tongues, when they're supposed to be working on the job. If you don't take care of somebody's business, How will yours thrive? It will work. Take somebody's business seriously. Be devoted to it. And don't have double minds. Wow, so much money is coming in here, and they're making money, and they pay me less. They're making money. Do you know what this is for? Is that your money? Aren't you working for something that you have done as payment? Be so inspired. Transform the life of the ones you work with. And let them make you the head of many things. Listen, I had an Asian guy. He works with me today. I brought him to Ghana a few years ago. I'll bring him back. Dr. Stevie is from Malaysia. Awesome guy. This guy came looking for me. I didn't want to meet him because everybody wants to spend time. And I'm asking, what is he about? I have to know why you want to meet with me. How many minutes will it take? Some people, when they come to you, they don't tell you straightforward what they came for. They'll go round. And when it's time for you to go, and you start looking at your watch, and they tell you, well, I didn't tell me by any say. After they've wasted your time. So straightforward will tell you, well, he has 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Go straight to the point. And when we finish, we can do pleasantries. I don't want to see him. They say, oh, he want to see you. But he did something that got my attention. He drew something so beautiful, a logo, and he sent it to someone to be given to me. I was getting ready to go into my office to rest for about an hour to go and speak. And they gave this. I looked and I said, who did this? He said, oh, it's a guy. I said, okay, we'll talk later. After I finished speaking, I said, now tell me again, who did this? It's a young guy for about a month. See you so desperately. And I said, okay, let me see him. He got my attention with his artwork. I saw it. I brought him in. I spoke to him and his wife. And I said, man, you are good. I'm hiring you. I said, what does your wife do? He said, my wife, we just got here, and I said, where do you live? So we live with our in-laws. I said, with my brother-in-law and all that. I said, okay, listen, I want you to come tomorrow and we'll try you out as a receptionist. I watched this guy's diligence, and I started promoting him. For a year, 2 and 3, one Sunday morning, I stood up and I told the congregation, this is your new pastor. And I walked off the stage and I sat down. I mean, people were hurt, some were crying. In fact, some left were angry. Why will our pastor do this? I tried. He ran the church for 3 years. And I was happy he did. I came back from Ghana, and I said, you know what? I'm going to shift your role. It's fine. We shifted his role, and I said, I think you're very good at business, aren't you? I tested him a few times. Said, you should do real estate development. Go get your license. Do this. This guy has been able to do this. Today, he's one of the best developers. He's making millions of dollars. And guess what? Still one of my pastors. The principle here is this. When a person is faithful over little things, you make them lords over many things. And I said, Steve, help young men to do business. And I always use him as an example. And other young people as example. At times, they come to me and say, I need seed money. I say, you don't need seed money. I want you to inspire me with your vision. Because if you can't inspire me with your vision, then your business will not inspire anybody. Your business should be able to cause people to say, wow, I want to be part of this success story. If you sell achomo, or fruit, whatever you sell, there's a way you can attract the attention of those who need it the most. And remember, if you're in business, your job is to not only convince people, but make people like what you do, want what you do, and desire that without what you do, they will not be complete or happy until they connect with what you have. It's all part of business. You can do it. Anybody can do it. But it should be inspiring. Even if you sell agidi, you are a man, you can put on suit and carry the agidi. This word, it will hit. It will get attention. But it's the way your product inspires others that they respond to. The fourth thing I want to say is this. You have to keep it succinct. Make it simple. As you are set best international business partner, possibly, even though it's time consuming and can be costly, you don't have to be concerned about the cost of the time consuming. First, you have to know yourself, your business. When you are choosing a partner and you know yourself, the partner will not walk away or come to you with millions. He will come with the understanding, or come with understanding that this is my potential partner. I'm going to partner with. We're going to do great things together. Do you know that even the embassies that are there, they are not only for visas? You can request and they'll give you requests from embassies, lists of companies abroad. Because every embassy has a list of companies that want to do business here. Request it. Go to any, you go, they'll give it to you. It's there. And when they give it to you, write to companies and attach your business plan. If you don't respond in a month or two, don't be discouraged. Send as many as you can to different places. They are looking for people who also have dreams and vision to find the right partners, the right match, the business partnerships. And if you are not shy, even with our government, you could just ask, I really want to do business abroad. There are sections. Go to call Ghana embassies in other parts of the world. Go to U.S. embassy. Call them British embassy. You will find lists of companies. And you see the one that matches your interest. Discuss your business ideas with them. And you'll be surprised the kind of feedback and response. But you've got to have its purpose. Make it clear, but distinct, inspiring, and people will respond to you. That will surprise you. Every partner that comes into your life is connected to other potential partners that you will need. So you have to be very open. Never get too, don't have this mentality that I'm going to get into business and make all the money in 1 year. Don't do things like that. Open up. Set a goal that in the next 3, 4, 5 years, this is what I want to do. The challenges I'm going through today is not a challenge that will deter me from achieving my goal. I need these kind of conversations because when you go to places or meet with people like this, in this thing, I shouldn't have to make you feel like it's so easy. Neither do I have to make you feel it's too difficult. But I want to provoke you to start thinking because there's so much that you can do that you even don't know you can do. There are some businesses that you have in mind that you've not given much thoughts to are more serious than the one you are pursuing today. Anything that you've tried to do for years that is not working, if you can't fix it, try something else. Don't be ashamed and don't think you're a failure if you tried 2 or 3, 4, 5 things and didn't work. Listen, the woman at the well who met Jesus Christ, at least she married 5 times. But by the time she met Jesus Christ, she succeeded to have a story told. It is not how many times you failed, but how many times you are willing to pick yourself up and go forward. We'll take a short break. I want to talk about the 5 things later at a short break. It will help some of you. I'll talk about money, how to create wealth. I'll break it down. Money, finance, economy, riches, and wealth. And I'll show you the difference between rich people and wealthy people and how to create wealth. It'll be good information for you. Now, they pay me a lot of money to do that, but I'm going to give it to you for free because I respect and trust you. So I'll take a quick break, 5 minutes. Ask a question that relates to the things I've said here. If you have any question concerning what I've said, just give 5 minutes and you would like to ask a question, please ask it. If you feel like raising your hand and insulting me too, that's fine. I will take it. So let's just keep it open for 5 minutes if anyone has a question to ask.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, His Majesty. Can you put your hands together once again for him? You can do it better. You can do it better. Thank you very much. At this moment, the floor will be open for questions. But then, His Majesty, your permission to ask them to just get up a bit and just stretch yourself where you are. Just get up for some effective blood circulation. Yes. That's a good one. Okay. You can sit now. Thank you very much. So I believe by now you have your questions ready. But then I want to set the tone. His Majesty.
Yes, sir.
You have imparted us so much with so much wisdom. I want to find out from you. I have a business and I belong to a church. I also know that there are people that I know who need employment.
Yes.
How convenient, how prudent is it to give Christians employment?
You employ people who add value to your business, but you don't employ people to give money away. The purpose of employment is to engage people to support your business so the business will make money for them to be compensated. But the fact that you're in church and so many people are looking for a job and you are hiring them, they will be contributing to the problem of job destruction than business building. Hire people you need, but not because you want. It's better for you to give them arms and help them to work than just employing them because they go to church with you. If you employ them because they don't have a job, then you'll be jobbing whilst they are jobbing. What is the purpose of business? Is to make profit and also benefits those who are part of the business. What is the benefit of having someone who doesn't add to your business, but just taking away from your business? You better as well give the money for the building of the house of God than give it to people who are not an asset, but liability. It is very simple. Many times Christians are made a point, and I'm saying it purposefully, provocatively. If you are a Christian, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to be diligent at work. Because God will only bless your diligence and promote you to honor. There are certain times people inherit what they didn't even know they could be part of because of their expertise, because of their dedication, honesty, and contributing to make a company better. So you have a business, you love God. In fact, even if the hierarchy of the church comes and say, well, people don't have job, help them. Help them without putting them in your business, because they may frustrate the success of your business. Your company is not meant to be filled with people. It's meant to be filled with workers who would help you generate resource so that you'll be able to benefit them, your church, your family, and do good.
Thank you. Put your hands together for His Majesty. Before I take the next question, His Majesty, you made a profound statement that partnership is not just money, but relationship.
Yes.
His Majesty, how much money would relationship put in my business? Knowing that I need money to do the business.
There are some people who would come to you and they may not immediately give you money. The partnership with them will introduce you to money. Always remember that for each partner you meet, there's a partner behind. Because a door leads to another door. A relationship leads to another relationship. Case in point. I'll give you a case in point. The fact that I know Pastor Constance, out of her goodness, knowing that, oh, I'm coming to visit, she invited 2 or 3 people to be in the presence. And after mere conversation, oh, by the way, this is my friend. They are doing this and they will need help. Can you give us advice? And maybe what I may give is advice, but it could be a direct assistance. Oh, you know what? I can help myself. There's something I can do. Because at times, you don't need to pray over what you can do. Prayer only works when you can't do it. But there are some things that you can do that you don't have to pray. So I can say, you know what? This one I can handle. It's relationship. So every relationship leads to another relationship. So when you have a relationship, that relationship can at least provoke you, help you, or that relationship can lead you to other relationships that can bring you incredible returns.
Thank you very much, His Majesty. Put your hands together for him once again. Okay, I need 3 people. 1, and then you and you. Okay, for now.
Yeah.
My name is Eko Kumsin.
Okay.
Okay. My name is Eko Kumsin. I think you talked about the impact of your business transforming lives. It's the age of disruption. So for those of us I'm into the ICT space. This is a system unit.
Yes.
Just this.
Yeah.
I could just fix it here, and I can track everybody's ID.
And you can do what?
I can track everybody's ID, digital ID.
Uh-huh.
It has so much potential. Once I deploy a particular application, there are chances that the righteous will be laid off in terms of employment. How do I ensure that in as much as I'm coming out with a particular solution, those who might be affected will have a way of still keeping them in the system? I'm not too sure if I'm... So we're talking of artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, and all of that. In fact, this one, there's a particular application we are putting together called Health Access Solution. It has the potential of wiping off the private health insurance space. Today, there are people in there who have employed Christians. And it's been one big headache that I think about.
Opagina call, same ye. No. Ajay can yansi wom team, Mamba Catro. Which matter, yo. Asema as I to her, Asem Papa. Name you are no so. What brofum? It's not fanciful. What can brofum, Papa? Let me honestly say to you, no business solves all problems. Business solves some problems, but not all problems. The fact that artificial intelligence, AI, is now the necessity of the day, it means, and also automation is taking over. There are certain industries that people have to really move into other spaces. We talk about green economy. People use. Remember, we used to have trotro, but Uber and these things have taken trotro out of business. So there are some things, new applications that are coming up. In fact, we use telephones in our home, the bulky ones. Now we have different telephones. So if you are coming which will solve a problem and would keep people out of business, some out of business, doesn't mean the product should not come out. And by the way, you don't do business for Christians. You do business to survive. If your concern is to do business with Christians, then your business is not a right one. Because Jesus didn't tell us to create Jesus businesses. And God didn't tell us to create godly businesses. He told us to be godly in our businesses. I'll give you an example. Ghana is a nation of Christians, but we can't say it's a Christian nation. So any business you create, you are creating the business to create jobs, but also the business to solve certain problems. So solving problems doesn't mean that a business that a Christian is involved in is going to suffer permanently. Do you realize that since face mask has come up, lipsticks has gone down in sales? So in reality, any business that you create solves certain problems, doesn't create more problems, but actually it keeps certain people to reinvent themselves. That's what business is all about. You have to constantly reinvent yourself, because if you don't, you'll be left behind. You have to constantly reinvent yourself. Those who don't reinvent themselves, they become the past. But those who reinvent themselves, they become the present and the future. Listen, I felt, I'll give you an example, that church is going to change as we know it today. So if you are building a building that will sit 10,000 people, you are wasting your time. You are spending money, and it doesn't make sense. Why should I put up a building, raise millions of dollars, and put up a building that can only be used for 2 days in a week? It doesn't make sense to me. $7 million facility. I don't call it a church. I call it a global leadership center. I'm bringing leaders in, and I'm renting the building for them to use the facilities because I have state of the art. 50 years from now, my systems that I use will still be in use because I have a system in my system of North Carolina doesn't have. I'm thinking the fact that you are innovating forth, take certain things that is archaic out of the way and introduce something that is new. So we better as well realize that what is behind is behind. What is here is here. And what is to come, you can't change it. Time is of necessity. And you and I cannot stop time. We can waste it, we can abuse it, but we can't stop time because time is on a mission. So if you refuse to do the product, unfortunately, somebody else will do it. Because you and I are not the only ones, but it's the ones that run to release it at the perfect timing are the ones who make it. You miss it by a second and somebody will take it.
Thank you.
Thank you, His Majesty. My name is Esther Tamaklo. We're talking about globalization and looking for partners.
Yes.
How big must my company be to look for partners?
A company that starts with one can still be a partner anywhere. You see, the important thing, that's I talk about relationship. That's what I talk about relationship. You start small and you grow. You don't have to have a size of 30 or 40 SME to look for a partner. In fact, it's even wiser before you develop a full concept, business concept, to find people and say to them, you know what? Or just say, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm looking for a mentor. One of the best ways to rope people in is to tell people, I want you to mentor me. If you find someone, just write to them random. You know what? I'm about to start a business and I'm looking for a mentor. Will you be kind enough to mentor me for this period? By the time you're done, a relationship has been formed. And that relationship will show interest in making sure that what is invested into your business in way of planning or thoughts has the application or the resource to make it a reality. It is not the size that matters, but it's the heart that matters. If your heart and your mind is in it, you can still be looking for. Don't wait till you have a business before you look for partners. Start looking for partners before you start a business. There are some people, when they come into your life, they will challenge you to let you know what you've lost, regain. It's all necessary. Business is necessary. My goal is, I learned something from my mother. When my mother was 98 years old, my mother told me that she wanted to go back to business. I said, Mama, you are too old. She said, I'm not too old. I'm home knitting and I'm tired of it. I want to go back into business. She died at 100, still wanting to get back into business. I admire a woman of such mind, and I realize that this is the man we have to develop. You are not too old to start, not too young to begin. Any age, any place, you could start.
Thank you very much, His Majesty. I've been advised by the media that if you want to ask the question, you come forward so that they can capture you. So, Brother Solomon, please come.
Thank you, His Royal Majesty. Yeah, so my question is, I just do it short. Maybe I have to combine also that list. Then later, the answers can come. One, does the name of a business or a company matters in the international business partnership? Then also, secondly, I run a company where I sell maybe, if you want to buy fridge or TVs, you can pay 2 cedis or 5 cedis. Then at the end of a period, I give you. But most of my workers, but I have almost like 10 workers and above. But most of my workers, when they go out to collect the monies, the young guys, when they do 1 or 2, then they say they are tired. But those who are 40, 50, they are able to do more of the collections and they earn more. And the young guys will come, I think I'll be getting more money, 6,000, 5,000, I'm not getting it. So I want to know if I should still be doing it more with the elderly people. In fact, even the elderly people, they don't even know how to write. But they use signs on their books to collect more of the cash. So now I want to know if I should use more of the elderly ones, or I should what's the name? Change the brain of the young guys so that they can understand what I'm doing. Then the next question too is, I started a new company and I wanted to employ workers, a male and a female. I got the females, a lot of females came. And the male, I was still looking for it. But some of them came and said, this area don't employ any of the guys, so they are all thieves. They'll come and steal your things. So I want to know if you said we should Ali give to the society or the place where our business is. And I want to employ from the same area. If they are saying they are still don't employ them, should I go employ from outside? And is that also good, or I should still search at where I am? Thank you.
Your question is a very good one. And I'll start by first addressing the young versus the mature ones, not even old, because you're only as old in your mind. There are some people who are young but will not go forward because of laziness. And if you employ lazy people, they will destroy your business. Those people who are mature and who really, in spite of their educational qualifications, but are showing signs of hard work, should be retained. And if anything, teach them ways and means to get that done. Let me say this. There are people who are willing but are not able to do certain things. And some people who are able but not willing. The young people are able to do the job, but they're not willing to put in what it takes for the job to be done. Drop them like hot potatoes. If not, they will destroy your business and you will blame the devil for it. Never, never build with people who are not part of what you are doing. If you discover that people you are dealing with are not really putting in their best, let them go. And let me make this point. You are better off struggling to build a company than having people that you thought were coming to help you to build, but only to sink your business or make you go down. If you are in a community, the second question, and I'm talking about corporate and social responsibility. For me, I separate the social and the corporate responsibility. Most companies put all together. What you do in a community is this. If the community is not capable in assisting you to do what you do, there are certain positions that can hire others who doesn't need certain qualifications, who do some basic things. But your reinvestment in the community is necessary. Case in point, educate or put little money there to help the children, whether school bags or this thing once a year or something, or something for the children. Or you help assist with tap water, something that can literally help the community. Don't make money out of a community and not put money there. But if you don't have the human capital to put into your company what is expected, then bringing them from outside doesn't mess up anything. They can benefit from the profit of the company. It's still the same. The third one is this. Don't listen to the women you've hired who say the young men will come and steal. Maybe you don't need to hire them because they are not there to be policing your business. They are there to be working. And if you're listening to them telling you don't need to hire young people because they will steal, and you believe them, it means that you yourself need help. Now, let me say something. Yeah, company name. Names are very important. Names are extremely important. But the names that you use should be names. Listen, I used to, you see, alive. All kinds of using God's name. Don't use the name of the Lord in vain. You have a God-range job or a business which says Jesus is alive, and yet the person who is your financial person or the person who is your manager is literally messing up the company. It gives the Christians a bad name. Use simple names that can be remembered. Don't use long names, called names one can identify with, But if you are using names, use names that has to do with your business. Names that have to do with your business. You can use, at times just initials can do. You don't have to use long names, prophetic names. No, don't do that. Well, I mean, I get weary when people tell me, well, and the Lord gave me a name for this business. If the Lord gave you the name for this business, and the business is not making money, then the blame will go to God. Don't put God's name. You say, God give me the name for the business. No. Find a name that will support your business. And when you succeed, you say, God bless my business. We blame so many things on God or use God's signature to back up many things he did not order. So having a name for a business could be a simple name. I mean, use a name that anyone can identify the products. Let it be a name that 20, 30 years from now will still be relevant. That is something that helps to attract international partners. International partners want names that is simple to be pronounced. But if it's difficult for them to pronounce, they'll back off. You go name your company, Nyamiche and Associates. They will say Namike, 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 and you'll be so upset. You say, listen, it's not Namike, and you'll be upset and leave. Use a name that they can identify with. And if you do so, you are in business.
Thank you. Thank you, His Majesty.
Mm-hmm.
After this, I'll take another 2 questions. Then we will go on to the next session. Thank you.
His Royal Majesty.
Yes,
I am Alice. I would like to know if it is appropriate to take a bank loan to start a business. That is all I want to know.
Why not?
If it is appropriate.
It's very appropriate.
Because of the interest rates and all those things.
It is appropriate.
Say it is not appropriate to do that.
If it's not appropriate, then where will you get what you need to do the business?
That is what I want to
Now,
know.
let me make a statement here. I mean, I know I want you to think. I want to provoke you. You see, investment is what you call legalized gambling. Let me say it again. Investment is legalized gambling. You put 10,000 CDs down, and you expect that within a year or two, you make certain percentage. Because investment is not guaranteed. Investment can be lost. You can lose your investment. You can lose your capital. You can lose your capital. If somebody even gives you a loan, they have to attach not only percent, attach a return to do business. Now, the higher the interest, the easier to secure the loan. But the interest, the harder it is to get the loan. I would advise, if that is the means to do or to go by, is great. But at all costs, you still need a capital to start business. If the bank is going to give you a certain amount for business, you should then be able to arrange or calculate how much you really need, because every loan that you get, you should get loan for both capital to run the company and also some in case of emergencies. If you don't do that and you put everything into this and you have challenges, you will struggle. Now, let me give you another simple example just to let you know how things work. For example, you live in an apartment. And you are in an apartment you pay it for 4 years or 2 years. Normally they'll collect 2 years, okay? But you pay for 4 years. I would suggest you pay for 4 years. The goal is you want to build a home. And you live in an apartment it's supposed to be 2 years, but you pay for 4 years. You want to buy a home, that's the ultimate goal. The area you are living in is good. You can find money or go and borrow if you can and rent another place. And you can use that for rental. At times to pay for itself. By the time you finish, if you the rented property had paid off what you were supposed to pay. But most of us don't know to do that. if you get loan, you can also give of loan because that's what banks do. We lend money among ourselves. The same system we use, you can use the same system. They put interest to make sure that at least you have enough to pay the interest for the year. Have some for capital, pay the interest, and have some that you can use for other purposes. But don't chop it. The problem is when people get loan business, they start chopping. That is the first time they want to go to the funeral and demonstrate that they are the organs at the funeral. And the family members are just waiting for you to announce a loan. They don't think it's a loan. They believe it's your money. So they will pounce on you, and you get bills you never knew existed. That's what you have to be careful of. When you have a loan, listen to this. You don't even tithe on a loan. You tithe on profit, or you tithe on income. But this is not an income. This is a debt. Loan is a debt. It's not an asset. Do you understand? You make sure you use the loan specifically for what it's for. Put some aside to pay the interest for the year at least. And put others away in case of emergency. This is what it's all about. I hope I'm clear. Okay. But, yes, ma'am.
Please, can I ask pertain to what
Yes, ma'am. You are so permitted. The boss, how can the boss not be permitted? You are permitted, boss.
you can take, like His Royal Majesty said, you can take a loan for a business, to start a business, but you need also to consider the margins on a particular business and the kind of
Loan
that
you could take in. That's right.
For instance, you are selling airtime or you're into telecom. For a year or no, for a month is 1%. Now you go for a facility that the interest a month is 3%.
That's out of.
It means that the loan is a bad deal.
It's a bad
for
deal.
this particular business.
That's correct.
Are you getting it? So at the end of the month, my turnover is 2 million. My profit margin is maybe 2,000. But the interest I'm supposed to pay on that money I took to run the business is 3,000. I'm at a loss of what? 1,000. By the time I repay the payments in 6 months, I've eaten into the capital or the loan I have taken. Then debt has started. So, from my personal experience, when you are taking a loan, you have to look at the margins coming out, whether it's one. Some loans can be overdraft. With the overdraft, you only pay what you use. Are you getting it? So you need to check what is coming. Other than that, they'll sell you property.
That is a good one. You see why you got one of the best? This goes to everybody. Thank you, woman of God. That's the point. Man, let's put our hands together again. Now, the advice she's given require 5% of tithe and offering. Increase it. Because he saved you from trouble. Yeah.
Thank you very much, His Majesty. We'll take the final question for this segment, and then we'll take 5 minutes break to allow His Majesty to take a rest.
Thank you, His Royal Majesty.
Yes,
in our part of the world, in Ghana, for instance, it looks like If your business doesn't toe the normal line, it becomes a bit difficult. I do a little writing. I've observed the senior high school system, and I've realized that their essay writing is very, very appalling. So I decided to focus on that. So I named my business as the Be Imaginative series. So
What's the name of it?
the Be Imaginative series.
Be imaginative.
In actual fact, essay writing deals with a lot of imaginations. Now, when I came out with the book, some schools took it. But when I go to other schools, they'll tell me, your book is good, but you have to add other aspects of the English language. Meanwhile, my focus is to look at essay writing. So right now, I'm confused. I don't know whether to add the other segments or to stick to what I am doing. So the other segments will also be looked at individually in different books. That's my problem now.
No, it's not a problem. It's not that's a dilemma. It's not a problem. Now, let me explain to you. There are certain people who will be used to provoke you to think outside the box. I said something yesterday, and I said, I'm trying to repeat some things I said yesterday. Many people operate in the box. Those who are courageous operate outside the box. But those who are creative create their own boxes. You see, when you are selling a product and you know your product, you know yourself, you know your product, don't let people make you move out of your space to their space. Because if you do what people want, you will realize that you are stuck with something that nobody needs. As a pastor, and I've pastored for quite a few years, I always tell my congregation that I am here before you came, and I'll be here when you're gone. So anyone that comes here, I want you to understand that we have a vision before you come. So don't come and sell your vision. People who come and sell you their vision will be around to support that vision. Simple. So you determine what you want to do. So if you have written this book, use it. That's in your heart. That's this thing. Use it, push it. You see, when they say no, go around. By the time others will say no, many have said yes. Even the scripture says, if they don't receive you, shake the dust and move to the next town. So when one part says no, it doesn't mean it's no good. The word no is not a bad thing. No, when you turn it around, is on. So don't take no as the end. No could mean pause or recess. And no could also mean get ready to go without any stop. So when one group says no, don't stop, don't be discouraged. Keep moving. I'll give you an example. One of my books, which is sold millions of copies, is called Prayer and Fasting. Before I did When Kings Pray and Fast. Living in England when I wrote that book. I went to a publisher, I remember so well, Torbay Publishing. He took the manuscripts because I hand wrote, and he threw it away. And these are the words he used. I don't print for Africans, especially black men. And I looked at him, and again, it's my inspiration. As I was picking the pieces off, I said, one day, I'll write a book, and you'll be seeking me out to sign a contract. I was going to self-publish, but he didn't do that. That book, when I was in the States, I polished it, I wrote it. The book I've sold millions. Is one of the most important books that is used right now in all over the world. If you read any book on prayer and fasting for the last 20 years, most of them quoted from my book. The very book that they threw away was a book I believed in, and I had no idea to even change it. I just added to it, improve it within what I wanted to do, and not what others were doing or saying. That book has done well. Presidents around the world has used it. Churches use it to train their people. So the goal here is, if it is something that identifies with you, and one say no, keep going. Again, you should know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who makes the decision. The one who said no doesn't make the decision. Somebody higher makes a decision. That is why it's who you know and who knows you. Is it clear? Good. It's my honor. Okay.
Thank you very much, His Majesty. We'll end this session for now so that you can take a seat and we'll also stretch and network. It's time to network. So just get up from your table to another table, or you move around a bit, and then network.
Now, do they know how to work? That's one thing. Networking is two words put together. One is net, and the other is working. Do they know how to weave a net? Or how nets are? And do they know how to work the net? Because it is not work net, it's networking. Net is used to catch or to sustain. You have to learn how to work the net. So sitting together now, we are all interconnected. So work it to get something out of it. If you can't work it, you don't work it, it won't work itself. So what it means is exchange cards. Today people don't do cards anyway. But say, you know what do you do? And take this conversation beyond here. Because what people do, ideas. I want to know what you do and how can we benefit each other. There are those who have ideas but don't have money. And there are those who have money but don't have ideas. And those who have money and don't have ideas, either they steal your idea or they invest in your idea. But there's a way to do the connection. There's a way to do the connection. So once we are here and we are all cozy and happy, connect with each other. Just talk. Tell them your little story, how you got here. Say, listen, I'm in this business. I had this idea some years ago, and I do believe that this business will do well. But I believe that this business that I'm doing, can connect with other business because every product does something else. Listen, your socks and your shoe and your pants and your belt, everything works together. So if you are selling socks or you're selling Awusa Cocoa, somebody have to sell Gose to match it. So networking is that you find out where you can connect, where we find connection. And when you find it, you work it. When I bring delegation here, I'm bringing people who are investors, and I'm going to set them loose. And the goal is hear people's stories because they want to be inspired by your story. Hear what they have to say and see if you can identify with them, and we'll cap it. For each person who has an idea that will work, maybe this is max we'll give for this investment. In fact, if we don't find people, we'll do it ourselves. So you say, okay, we have, let's say, this amount. Those who are in this area of business, sell your ideas to us. Convince us. What we do is we are going to invest in your company. So we have shares in your company. So that so doing, we shall manage the company and help the company to grow. But you see the founder and the owner. But we have to make profit. When you invest or you have an investor working with you and there's no supervision and the investor is out, the business will go down. So anyone who invests to keep the business afloating and active and successful, you have to give them rights to check the books or to make sure that the business is going according to their plan. Every business, you have a plan. And no serious investor will invest in a business that doesn't have a plan. By hip business don't work. You have to have a plan and let it be open. Listen. The Bible says that write the vision and make it plain. When people that run, because when you're running, everything is convoluted, every word comes together. But it's so big and plain, run, they can read. If your vision cannot be read, it doesn't worth remembering. Now, there are people in Ghana who like to invest. And every bank knows how to court or idea to court high earners, ultra high earners into their space. So they will bring their investments into the bank. They have different sections in the bank. That is why when you have certain portfolio and you go to the bank, you don't sit in the front. They take you to special rooms. They give you coffee and tea. You don't go to the, they take care of you because you don't need, you are their primary customer. If they lose you, people lose their job. There are people in Ghana who can invest, but many times our business don't attract them. We don't have a business plan, proper business plan to sell it. Now that you have the idea, you have to find somebody who can sell ice cream or ice water to Eskimo. Many Christians and many believers and many business people don't know how to sell their own business. You ask them to do, but they don't know how to articulate it. If your words are not properly articulated, you will not attract the attention that you need. What business do you want to do? Minimpo. Yeah. Business being a medium and big business. Millions and millions of dollars per dollars per. This business can sepa or say. And then they get up. Me who and the mommy power. Me and me business as a mommy. And he said, "Denny business no." Minimpo. You have to be specific because when you are telling your story and you are not convinced about it or excited about it, nobody will be excited about your business. There are some people, the excitement they bring, and again, don't be interested in always going for money. Be interested in going for a relationship. Because if you get that relationship, you get the money. It is the relationship that matters. I want to build a relationship with this person. At least if they don't give me money, they will direct me where to go. Or they would inspire me or say something that will give me comfort that I'm on the right path. But most of us, we're looking for money. As if we have worked for people to keep our money and we're coming to take the money. It doesn't work that way. When you are looking for funding, be prepared for many rejections. Because again, rejections doesn't mean the business is not going to go forth. The business will do well, but you've not met the right persons who can actually equate or add to the picture to make the business work. So I would say to you, if you're in business, you also have to have endurance. If you don't have endurance and patience, and you easily get frustrated, because people who get frustrated in business always get depressed with their business. Many mishaps will come, but always know this. No business stays afloat forever. There are ups and downs in business. So when a business is down, it doesn't mean the business is out. You can cause it out. If the business is up, don't think that it will stay up forever. That is how the system works. Every business will go up and come down. So when it's going up and down, consider the balance, how to add balance and keep your business floating. It is very, very important.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we're going to take a break?
Yes, please.
And I can sit for some few minutes?
Yes, sir.
And I will be back. Please don't leave. Because I want to give you as much as I can give you today. All right? Thank you.
Thank you.
greatest thing they need is capital. I have personally come to conclude that cultivating a relationship will result in greater benefits. Many people believe that they need sponsorship or capital, and as I said earlier, capital to many people is seed money. But that is not always the case. Again, capital, seed money. That is not always the case. Capital has a deeper meaning or other meanings. We have human capital, we have social capital, intellectual capital, financial, and others. But you see something about money, I'll break it down. And I said money, riches, wealth, economy, and finance, they are all interrelated. Let me say it again. Money, I'm not saying it in order, but I'm just saying money, finance, economy, riches, and wealth. They are all interrelated. Let me say it again. Money, finance, economy, and riches, they are all interrelated. Money is made, or we always make money. Money is supposed to be made. Finance is always taught. That is what schools teach you. School teach you finance. My special assistant, my son here, is an accountant. He's been with me for 6 years, 7 years. Manage one of our microfinances. I rely on him. He's an accountant. He knows, he's an auditor too. He does quite a few things. He's young and smart. And also he was, one of the benefits, being a chancellor, is he's one of my students, and also one of the University Council officers. I am proud of you. He learned finance from there. In school, he learned finance. But our institutions talk about economy. It's all interrelated. Money is made, finance is taught. Finance is taught. Economy is something that is institutionalized. Riches is what people pursue. People pursue riches. But when it comes to wealth, it is created. I'm going to put some thoughts together and say some things that I believe I want you to think through. You see, God made man. God created man. Is that correct? In his likeness and in his what? Image. And when woman came about, it says God what? Made. Was created, woman was made. She was taken from the side of a man. Is that correct? The amazing thing is, there are some things that you create, and there are some things that you make. God is both the creator and the maker. Money as you and I know it is made. And everybody has money. But ultimately, people are pursuing riches. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes that money answers all things. It didn't say all things. Because answering and doing are two different things. You can answer any question, but it doesn't mean you can do what the question demands. Is it clear? Money, the Bible says that wine makes one merry. When you drink at weddings or funerals, you smile a lot, isn't it? That's what wine does. Whether it's sweet wine or wine mixed with liquor, it makes you giggly, happy. That is why when people, they can say, oh, yo. They will fall in the gutters and still singing. Because wine makes you merry. But money answers all things. And I made this statement yesterday. Many of us were taught wrong. You see, money is needed. But when money controls evil, when you make money, you're God. But money is necessary. When Jesus fed the 5,000 people, he asked them, where do we get bread? That means, man, we have to buy bread. I mean, and even when you have fish, you sell them. When you make boats, you sell them. Money plays a role. The wise men, when Jesus was born, they presented him what? Frankincense, gold, and myrrh. Money involved. Jesus' ministry, he was supported by what? Women with money. And before he died, a woman bought a very expensive nard. It's all money answers all things. So if you have money, you can answer some questions. If you have money, you can answer some life challenges and some life problems. Money can answer all things. We all want money. Everybody wants money, and we're all trying to make money. So when you ask people, you say, well, I want to make some money. Isn't what we all say? I'm trying to make some money. You are in business to make money. But when it comes to riches, people pursue it. That is why God even warned us. He says, those who are in a hurry pursuing riches, you will fall into temptations. He didn't mention anything about wealth, but he talked about riches. It is hard for a rich man to go to heaven, isn't what he says? Than for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Want those who are rich in this world to be sober, not to be, this is because people who are rich are usually the ones who flaunt. And most people get into business to be rich. So most Christians are more interested in being rich. But our father Abraham, who through his seed, recipient of his benefits and blessings, he was wealthy, yes, rich. If you only pursue riches, you fall short. Because you can do anything to be rich. You can sell drugs and be rich. You can steal and lie and be rich. So many people want to. And when people have little riches, it gets into their head. They want to flaunt it. So in our society, there are so many people who don't know what money is about. They don't know what wealth is about. And universities will teach us about finances. Our governments will talk about economy. But you and I need both riches and wealth. But God wants us to be wealthy because this is the covenant he made with our fathers. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you power to what? Create. Create means that you are bringing out of non-existence existence. So monies are made, but wealths are what? Created. So there are 5 things. So money is good Go ahead and make money. Finance is good when you are taught how to budget. Economy is necessary when we live in a country that realizes the importance of having some security with our resources. But when it comes to individual level, we have to use whatever we have to create wealth. There are so many people that you consider wealthy, which in actual fact, they are just rich. Because riches can be flaunted, but there's some wealth that you cannot even see. And wealth is generational, but riches are only temporal. So you can be rich today and lose money, but people who have wealth, they are able to pass on to generations, to their families and children. And that's what God wants us to come to. How do I create wealth? I made a statement earlier, and I'll make it again. Ghana is rich, but its citizens have no wealth. We are rich in resources. We are rich in gold. We are rich in cocoa, lithium. We've just discovered more things, oil. We are rich, but yet most of our people are hurting. When we talk about finance, our interest is more about the economy, the state of the economy. When we go to school, we are taught about finance, how to manage finance, budget, about the elementary structures of finance. But when you leave school, you realize that most of the things you learn there is theory. It has no practical application to it. It's theory. It's pure theory. Let me say it again. It's pure theory. So how do we create wealth? Let me see by hand. How many of you would like to know how to create wealth? The hands are a little bit discouraging. How many of you really want to know how to create wealth? Okay. Now let me ask you for the last time. And for those whose hands will be raised, it will be unto you. Let me see how many of you want to create wealth. Amen. Okay. Now, I want you to keep your right hand up. And say with me, it's no sin or wrong. Say it again. It is no sin. It is not wrong to be wealthy. Wealth is God's promise to me. It's God's desire that I will learn the principles of creating wealth. Amen. There is nothing wrong with wealth. What did God say to Abraham? As long as you live in your father's house, you will eat, you have shelter, your wife will still love you, Sarah will love you, and all of that, but your wealth will be hindered. But for you to be able to create wealth or come into wealth, I will use people to bless you, and whoever blesses you will be blessed by me. Whoever curses you will be cursed by me. So the simple fact of wealth in the hands of a believer is that the moment you get it, there is no curse attached to it. So when God says, I'll make you rich, what he's actually saying is this, I'll make you wealthy. And there's no sorrow attached to it. In wealth, again, you don't need a university degree to create wealth. You don't have to have a good job to create wealth. Creating wealth all begins with having a mentality. You need to have a different mentality, different appreciation for wealth, and also have a goal and objective what wealth in your hands will do in your life and in the life of people you or appreciate. Let me tell you this story. I said it in my church last week. When I was in the late 90s, I ran into quite a few problems, which I still do. But now I'm able to manage it than before. Before I even had few things that I can call God's blessing in way of security. People always associate me with wealth. When they saw me, they said I got money, but I didn't even have a penny to my name. People always say to me, man, you rich, you rich, you rich. Listen, and to people who are millionaires, they think I have $1 more than them. And those who are billionaires, they think I have $1 above them. And these are friends. And some are say, they'll say, thank you for helping us to make billions of dollars. We're grateful for you. I mean, and yet they think I have one. So they say to me, you don't need anything. I used to be so disturbed because when people think you have, nobody want to give you. They rather want to take away from you. But I realize that it's the opposite. Because people are not afraid to give to people who have. They're very troubled giving to people who don't have. Because people who don't have, you only give them what you call leftovers. If a rich man asks you for $10, even if you don't, you go borrow it. But if a poor man asks you for $10, you give them 1 CD. It's true. Because the principle of wealth is that when you understand the principle of wealth, the one who has much shall be given. And the one who don't have, the little they have, shall be taken away from them. There's a principle that you cannot circumvent. You can't change it. And God has made it so. Wealth is created by those who have creative minds. But if you don't have creative mind, you will never be wealthy. You keep on pursuing riches till you die. I used to be offended. Hey, give me loan, give me loan. And when I was in the United Nations, anytime we're in a think tank session, when it's finished, I have serious officials who will pull me to the side and will say to me, you know what, it's been very tough. I've got these projects, I've got this, and I need a loan and all this. And I get mad. One day I walked out into my room, left one of the sessions, and was so perturbed. And I said, God, I mean, what is all this for? And God says to me, shut up, boy. That's the way he talks to me. Because I take instructions. Shut up, boy. I say, yes, Dad. Shut up, boy. I say, okay, yes, sir. I got quiet for him to talk to me. He says, they ask you to give them $2. If you have $1, give it to them. And he said to me, didn't you quote scriptures that I gave you that you shall lend to many nations and borrow from none? I am trying to make you one that the nations of the world will be indebted to, and you are fighting their prophecy. I shut up from that moment. So if you ask me $10 and I have 50 cents, I'll give it to you. So God said, the people you are giving it to is the nations you are lending to. Whoever lends to the poor is the master of the poor. That's the principle. But if you are stingy, oh, Sister Armstrong, Mother Armstrong, you will struggle. I don't care how much revelation and how many prophetic words are spoken over your life, and I see some money. It's a lie. If God cannot trust you with generosity, he cannot trust you with abundance. Because generosity and abundance have connections. If you are not generous, don't expect. Listen, I later on realized that when, not just what the prophetic things people spoke or what they saw, people at times see who you are before you even know who you are. When people begin to be jealous and begin to cut you down and all that, do you know what they see? They see greatness that they are afraid of. When nobody disturbs you and envious of you, it means you have nothing to write home about. But when people become envious and jealous of you, when you know that you don't have anything, it is a sign that they are prophesying what you become. This is what wealth creation is about. How do I create it? Listen. Has in it. Because every person you meet is either a worth of knowledge, experience, opportunity, connection, or worth of the devil's problems. Everybody's embodiment of something. That's why you have to be careful who you spend time with. Be very careful the people you call your friends. There are some people, when they come to you, they help you to create poverty unspeakable. The problems, some people you bring into your life, first and foremost, your life will go into stop. Then it will go into minus. Then by the time you realize it goes into what? Division. When you understand that God wants to make you wealthy, he does it for a particular reason. Abraham's wealth was to establish covenant for you and I. Remember the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. How that he was rich, but yet for your sake, he became poor, that through his poverty, you might be rich. And the riches that comes from God is wealth creation. It's wealth creation. It's wealth creation. It's wealth creation. Now, there's difference. Some people can create wealth in their sleep. In other words, they can make money in their sleep. If you have to make money when you wake up to go to work, it's money you are making. But if you can create wealth, that even in your absence, there are others who will benefit from it. So you can meet people who don't have money to flaunt. Now, there are those who are wealthy and also rich. And there are those who are rich and not wealthy. But when you find people who are wealthy, they don't make too much noise. It's people who are rich, who want to show off, that begin to flaunt what they got. So it's very easy in Ghana. If you want to show that you're rich, Rover, get a car. And when the girls see that, they go crazy. Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, man, listen, this is new. Hey, okay, tear rubber. They don't only tear rubber, they're going to tear your heart. There are so many people you think they are rich. They are actually showing off loans that they've not paid back yet. But when you find wealthy people, at times, unless somebody tell you, when you find a true rich and wealthy person, they are not arrogant. They are not arrogant. They have time for people. They respect people. They treat people with dignity. It doesn't get into their heads. When you meet wealthy people, at times you'll be surprised because the kind of conversation they engage in and the kind of things they do. You say, man, why? We go skinny. But you find some people who don't have. That's what the Bible says in life. There are those who don't have. They pretend they got it. And there are those who have, but they pretend they got nothing. But yet God wants us to create wealth. Because there's a covenant God has made. I want my people to create wealth so that they can advance my kingdom. I want my people to create wealth so that lives will be transformed. You see, you cannot talk about the kingdom of God with poverty mentality. People who talk about kingdom believe in resource. There are believers who spend time praying for God for money. Instead of praying for God for money, pray that God will give you idea to create wealth. It is the idea you need. If you find a person with poor mentality, give them million CDs, 10 million CDs today. Come back next week, they are broke because they don't know how to multiply the wealth, because wealth is created. Creating means that you are an innovator. You are making things, doing things, putting things out of. You can take dirt and make something, human being out of it. You can and run with it. Listen, there are things that I was doing just to provoke my daughters to know anything in spite of the agenda. I believe in women. I'll tell you straightforward. I believe that if God, if I believe in women. I believe in women because any man that hates women doesn't hate their own mothers. That's it. Any man who doesn't respect women doesn't want anyone to treat their daughters wrong. They may not respect their wives because of foolishness, but their mothers and their daughters they want to protect. So the truth is, women are still valuable to our society. I just believe in women. I believe that if it's true, Eve, the world is messed up, we need women to turn it upside down. Simple. Listen, if you want to change a society or change the world, change men who manages money, because men can steal quicker than women, and put a woman there, your money will be safe. Simple. Simple. A woman will be afraid to steal for the sake of her children. But to steal food for a child, she will do it. But not steal somebody's money for a child. If a woman steals for money, it's because a man in her life told her to. Women, this is a good time for you to appreciate me. Put a hand in. I know some of the men are a little bit perturbed. But it's okay. Because ultimately, when you find a man, you find a thing. But when you find a woman, you find a good thing. It's scriptural, it's practical. Rich people make things concrete, but wealthy people make things simple. See a rich man want to go to the most expensive restaurant to show off. Meet a wealthy man, you just give me a giddy, I'll eat it like that. Meeting is because of the mentality. There's a difference between money finance, riches, economy, and wealth. The difference between rich and wealthy rich is that rich people have no or little financial planning. They focus on affordability and spending. You always want to spend money. When they get it, they want to spend it. But when you find people who are wealthy, they are highly expensive to income. They always have to make sure that they don't throw away money, but whatever they have, they always spend less compared to the income they have. When you find a rich man, usually when you have money, money is finite to them, and it always runs out quicker. But when you find a wealthy person, money is sustainable and they use it to last. Usually when you find a rich man, they have cash or material assets. But when you find a wealthy person, they are usually investing in long-term matters or portfolios. Let me say this. They're being rich, but it's everything to will be blessed by what you've created. There's nothing wrong to be wealthy. That's why we do business. And when you do business, your goal is not to be rich, but your goal is, I want to create wealth with my business plans, because there's so much I feel I can do for my children. Creating wealth is very important. And I wish, if you are a Christian listening to me today, stop thinking that wealth creation is only done outside. You can still create wealth in this country. Listen to me. You can still create wealth in this country. You only have to know what you are doing. And you have to have a mentality of creating wealth. Creating wealth, as difficult as it may sound, is achievable. It's got to do with the mind. There are people who are rich in terms of substance, but they are poor in terms of their future. When you give your children riches, they can mess it up, especially those who don't know the value of money. But when you give someone, a child, intent, a mentality of wealth, would increase, multiply, add to what you've given them. Creating wealth, there's nothing wrong. You don't go into business not to make money. And again, everything in business is negotiations. You've got to negotiate. You know, our mothers do that well when you go to the market. Anything that is 5 cedis, they can talk about it and walk away, knowing that you call them back for a deal. It's all negotiations. That's how wealth is created. You have to negotiate. How do I negotiate? Who are the people I negotiate with? Making money is good. Creating wealth is better. And I'm saying to you, you can create wealth, whether you know it or not. And you may be the first one in your family to create wealth. I made a statement to you earlier. When I was young, I didn't holding on to money. So whenever I have little money, I want to keep for me. Then I learned how to invest money. So my deal would be, I'll give Mom money. I said, Mom, use this money. She said, I don't need it. I said, use this money. And I would negotiate terms and returns. And I said, Mom, you use this money. But the day I come to you, make sure you give me my money back or the interest. And there are times I go, I say, you keep the money, give me the interest, and I'll come back again for the interest. I learned then how to put value to money and how to make money work. And one thing I've realized is that money is just a tool. It only takes on the personality of the one who has it or who he has. If money controls you, you follow the works of money. But if you control money, the desires that you believe is best for you. You can create wealth. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As small as you are bigger than you think. But you have to have a mindset of investment than a mindset of pay and carry. I pay and I carry and eat. If you start doing that, you not have any seed for investments and for greater return. We are meant to create wealth. Because God's promise is, I want you to create wealth. So if you have a kingdom mindset, the goal is, I want to create wealth. At times, you need to come together, put your resources together. That's how it is to create wealth. Someone will say that I've got idea. Someone will say that I've got the workforce. Someone will say, let's put it together and create wealth. This is why we are poor in our society. Yes, in faith, instead of succeeding together. We are afraid that somebody will outsmart us. So instead of coming together to build something strong, we want to do it in factions. And this is what happens. So if we are afraid to put our resources into others to build something that we can all own, then the truth is that one can continue to make 1,000. The ability of two making 5,000 each will never exist because it takes partnerships to create wealth. If you want to create wealth, you have to work beyond your sphere of influence. Connect with people. Open yourself up. And remember, what you know, there's so much you don't know that you need to know. So open yourself up to those who know something that can help you to go forward. Don't be in a hurry to correct people for what you don't like about what they are saying. Be willing to take what they are saying and apply to add to your knowledge so that you can create something for your future. You can do it. It's doable. And you qualified to do it. And I approve this speech. I salute you for your time. I'll see you soon. I left some things hanging, but when next time I come, hopefully, we'll go all out. Thank you for your love. God bless. See you after.
Do it better, do it better, do it better. Do it better, do it better. Thank you very much, His Majesty. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Oh, give him some more love. Give him some more love. Thank you very much. Please be seated. That was so great. I believe we've learned a lot. All right. I don't want to believe that you want to ask me any questions because I cannot answer. Yes, that boot is too big for me to wear. So just keep it to yourself for now. All right. Okay, before we go into some 10 minutes discussion, I would like to take my envelopes. So please package it.